said in recent times that there's a disconnect between graduate skills and what is being required in the employment market. I'll start with you, sir.
Well, thank you. And I want to greet all listeners and viewers. But we're not really talking about a disconnect. We are here to talk about how the university, how the gown can go into town and then collaborate with industry, collaborate with civil society, and collaborate with the general public so that we can make headway in our national development and so that we can revamp our education so that students who are produced from the universities can be of use to themselves first, and so that they can also be of assistance to the nation. So for us, there is really no disconnect.
You don't believe that there's a disconnect?
I don't believe there is a disconnect. Mm-hmm. There has been hitherto the thinking that the university was an ivory tower sitting there producing people of critical minds so that when they came out, they would then be able to fashion out what they could do. But trends have changed. With globalization, the universities have had to review their curricula to make the curricula speak to the new trends, speak to the market demands, and speak to the philosophy of every nation.
Okay, so with the current curriculum that you have, are your graduates able to gain employment and also be able to, be successful or maintain the jobs that they have?
I'll say yes. We are established, and our mandate still stands. We are established as a teaching university, producing teachers for the nation's second cycle and second cycle institutions, for the polytechnics, colleges of education, and we still do. Just that we've had to diversify a bit some of our programs so that we can speak to some of the needs of Ghana, some of the needs of the world. So we've had to introduce some entrepreneurial skills training programs, some market-oriented programs, so that our students are employable by themselves and are employable by industry.
Okay. Mr. Fashi, do you believe that a degree alone is enough for a graduate that's going out on the job market? Is it enough just to have a degree? I mean, of course, we all know the importance and the relevance of a degree, but is just the degree enough?
Thank you. A degree in itself will be enough to the extent that it gives the graduates the necessary skills that the job market needs.
And that would be skills related to the particular career or industry or yes, career path that they've chosen.
Exactly. So you must have a degree, but the degree must be relevant to your context and to the industry in particular, which you want to function in. And that is the more reason why the university sees its mission as training people to be relevant for industry. And at the moment, we are putting in place initiatives that will help develop our students, make our students relevant to the job market.
Okay, but in this day of competition, I mean, of course, there will be hundreds of other graduates also competing for the same job that you are applying for. So wouldn't you need to acquire certain skills beyond what is related to your career path?
That is true. If you have observed, universities today, the University of Cape Coast in particular, for example, in the past 10 years, in the past decade, you see that certain skills, job-relevant skills, have been introduced in the curriculum. We talk about skills relating to ICT, for example, Chinese Learning Center. The University of Cape Coast, for example, has an outfit to train people in contemporary languages that are gaining a global outreach. You will see that, for example, now we are expanding our training in areas like communication skills. We are also helping our students to understand the global related programs, programs that are focused on international issues, global issues, current trends, and so on and so forth. So, yes, the university itself is responding to these new trends and these new needs by expanding the curriculum and by refining it to suit the contemporary needs, and that is what we are doing.
Let me just add that we've had to introduce a program in entrepreneurial skills, and every student is required to do that program before completion.
What does that consist of?
Well, it consists of assisting students to understand the concept of business, to understand how they can create their own business, and how they can build a concept, a business concept. And so we've attached to that program an incubator. There's an incubation center, and we are working with a German university, Bonn Rhein University, in collaboration also with University of Nairobi. The three of us are partnering, and we have this center where a student is required. If he has a business concept, he comes and he's taken through the business concept. He develops that business concept. Yes, we agree that developing the concept alone is not enough. The person has to be assisted after he's developed the business concept. What happens? He needs to be assisted with a kind of starter package, and we are still working on that. You see, and that's why we've brought in industry. We have the ICAG helping us to design some of the programs in the business-related programs, business management studies, accounting, finance, and whatnot.
Okay. Yes. Would you like to elaborate more on that?
In addition to that, the university has seen the need to build bridges with industry. And that, for example, has led to the establishment of the Institutional Advancement Office of the university. What the Institutional Advancement Office does, for example, is to send out proposals to industry, seek grants, seek assistance, network students to industry, bring alumni back to the university, so that alumni can nurture the young ones that are coming up, tutor them on new areas where they should focus on, which skills they need to have to be able to be relevant to industry, and so on and so forth. So the university is building a bridge mechanism with such initiatives like, for example, institutional advancement that aims at bringing industry, the major stakeholders of the university, and the university together. Okay. That we see as a way of enhancing the relevance of our students to the job market and the university to the entire society.
Right. Now, you just mentioned skills relevant to the industry. Now, I know that there are some employers who, to them, it doesn't really matter whether you studied ancient history or computer science. For them, they're looking for certain skills, and these skills are generic. Can you give us maybe a few tips on the kind of skills that one would need to possess in order to have a certain edge on the job market?
Basically, any graduate should have good analytical skills. You should be able to analyze well. You should be able to write well in the language you want to work in, with what we call literacy skills. Ability to write well, ability to from linking up with the external world, learning from the external world.
Okay. What about work experience? Does the university encourage that?
Well, that is the issue that some of us don't understand. When companies, industry are employing people and they're asking for 5-10 years experience, who is to train them for them to have that experience? We know the world of work doesn't have the patience to wait. Yes, so we factored into that some internships. If you take the business-related programs, they have internship package. You go to the School of Agriculture, we have our extension program. They do internships outside with farm stations and all that. You go to our Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences. They do internships with fish farmers and so many others. If you come to the education, which is the major enrolling section or sector, they do teaching practice for one whole semester, apart from what we call micro teaching practice on campus. So we do build into all these programs some internship. Those
and do you see that this has helped the students or the graduates? Has it giving them an edge in the job market?
Yes. all those, and I think one day somebody will call you to testify that the products of the University of Cape Coast, yes, at the beginning it's natural. They may have challenges, but they pick up very fast, and they're doing pretty well.
Okay, now speaking of the products of the university, I can't have you come in here without asking about the not too, we heard it not too long ago about the young lady whose nude photos and videos came out. How did this affect the university? How did you take it, and how has it affected you?
Thank you very much. Well, of course, certainly as an institution, that is a trainer, that is a molder. It was a big blow to us, and it actually affected us so much, so that. But we had to be firm by ourselves. We had to psych ourselves very well, and then we went into the background of that student. It was very unusual. We went into her background, and we realized that some information was not provided by the parents.
On admission? On
admission.
Okay.
This student had come from Legon. He had done a couple of years at Legon, and then joined us for a program that she preferred. But it's a mental case. She's at the psychiatric hospital now. So it's not a natural...
So is this a one-off, or is this something you've seen before?
No, we haven't seen this before. That's why I'm saying it was a shock for us.
Okay, so yes. And going forward, how have you been able to, kind of psych the students and also regroup to, to kind of calm the waters on campus?
Well, we've had to meet with the students. Now we've got, we have a counseling center, professional counseling center, and which has been challenged to now monitor students.
Monitor them in what aspect?
As soon as they enter, they have a protocol. They have designed a protocol which they will give to lecturers. And as they enter the lecture room, they will use those protocols to identify students who may have some challenges in terms of their psychological behavior.
Okay, for this case, yes. Well enough, you just said that the student has some mental issues, but there are other students who don't have any kind of issues at all, who do these things, who, they take nude photos of themselves, they do video recordings and all of that. So I don't think it's just a psychological or a mental
No, you are talking about this specific case.
Yes, and but I'm going forward for the other students.
And that's what I'm telling you that we are building counseling units apart from this professional counseling center, which has stationed staff at every hall of residence, at every faculty, every department. We have counselors, but we have gone beyond that. Learning lessons from this case. We've gone beyond that to now put up a very strong counseling team made up of professional counselors and some religious persons who may be able to identify students at all levels, at the religious grounds, social grounds, in the academic ground area, and then all that, so that we'll be able to deal with such cases very promptly. But this issue is a unique one, and as for the nude pictures here and there, they are not unique to the University of Cape Coast.
Or to any university for that matter.
Sorry?
Or to any university.
Or to any university. They happen in the society. Just that once they are not in the public domain, we cannot say they don't exist. Yes. But once we get to know that a student of ours has exposed himself indecently, we have rules and regulations, and we apply them strictly.
Right. Finally, will you accept the student back after she's received treatment? Will you welcome her back into the fold to complete her course?
We will get the report, and we'll be able to
make a decision.
We'll make an informed decision. For now, I decline to make any pronouncement.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning. I was joined by Professor Didi Kupole. He is the Vice Chancellor at the University of Cape Coast, and also Solomon Fachi, who is the coordinator at the Institutional Advancement Office of the UCC. Thank you once again for your time this morning.